So before we answer Sarah's question, if you have a question that you would like for me to answer and you'd like to send me a video to drharmony, Dr. Harmony at Twin Flame Expert, from there I can answer your question and bring it live to share with everyone else.
Hi Dr. Harmony, I just thought I would send you a video to help clarify what I was saying. So could all these soul contracts work through each other in respect of you've got your eternal twin flame? Could that be working through what I used as an example? Could a false twin flame experience work through, so two working through the same person? So could a parent be a false twin flame? Could a family member be a false twin flame? Could a family member be an eternal twin flame? Do the relationships have to be based on a relationship of being sexual, connected as a relationship? I wanted to understand if any of these, as I work down through every single karmic soul contract with people, could they be displayed two different types of flame or soul contract come through one person, or is that all separate? I understand that you can have karmic working through each one individually, but could it present two lessons present from two different experiences in the same contract? That's what I mean. If I'm getting all confused and muddled up, please put me right. Anyway, I hope you're well. Sending you lots of love.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for your question and being brave and bold enough to submit your video and your question. And so the first thing I want to start with your question and an answer is I'd like for people to start thinking about the idea of a false twin flame as removing the label false. Because while it might not be the eternal twin flame, where people are really getting confused in this portal of energy that we're quantumly entangled and we're all funneling through this portal of energy to heal ourselves, heal relationships, and heal the world, there's nothing false about any of that. So let's piggyback that and unwind that and go deeper within the self and look at the contracts and the lessons, and then we'll put the two together. So let's first talk about the soul contracts and the lessons and why you have the contracts. So you have soul contracts with people because you as a soul chose and signed up for karmic lessons and karmic debts. The karmic lessons are basically karmic vows that your soul chose to experience through its evolutionary period and process of evolution and change and growth for you to evolve, expand, and to elevate into the ascension process. In order to do that, that means you have signed up to learn very specific experiences to really gain that growth that you need, and you need the mirrors to show you those reflections of yourself to heal. So we have what's called karmic vows that you signed up for, which become the lesson. Then we have what's called karmic debts. And the karmic debts are basically what we chose to pay back for the collective clearing. So we're learning a lesson, we're gaining growth out of it. And now we're taking what we learned from that, what we've gained out of that, and we're paying it forward. So we're also now clearing for the collective in a way that we're clearing the karmic debts and paying our debt back for what we've been given, because that's the law of balance, the law of, harmony, and the law of the universe that says everything's going to be in rhythm. So with that being said, then when you add that into, say, karmic contracts, the karmic contracts are the contracts you create with people throughout this process of evolutionary process from the time you incarnated all the way through your ascension process until you really release and come into the ascended version of yourself, into the self-mastery, which at that point is typically when you kind of realign with the twin flame and you elevate to like the highest version, and it's almost like you've accomplished the mission and now you get to choose what you want to do going forward, and technically you're kind of released back to the stars and the energy to say, I've accomplished what I wanted and now I get to choose what I want to do going forward in a whole new and different way. So in this particular life, we're going through it in this collective portal because of the universal shift in timelines of past karma into the future, new earth, new age, new era, into a new way of doing things. That's why we're having the tower moment of everything breaking down, destruction to recreate and reprogram all of these dysfunctions that we've learned through experiences with people and with the twin flame journey has a lot to do with dysfunction in relationship that starts with a dysfunction in ourselves, but also back to the familial dysfunction that we took on from our parents in our childhood and our ancestral wounds that we're clearing. And in addition to that, all of the unconsciousness that we bring forth from every other lifetime that we're purifying and purging all of that, so that in this collective hierarchy that we're shifting from a lower frequency earth into a higher frequency earth, and we're purging it and purifying it in the process. So what one does, what we do within ourselves, is our universe and our clearing. But obviously there's collective energy that it supports to help in the collective. And then we can take on the collective. And we may not be able to change what the collective energy is, but we can choose to change our part in the collective, meaning we don't have to take on the collective energy. And there we get to create our own little universe within the bigger plan. Now, how that links to soul contracts. So absolutely, when it comes to soul contracts, when you think of a soulmate is a monad and a group of family, just soul family, period, that you've spent many, many, many lifetimes with. You're very familiar with them. And they can, they come in the form of parents, friends, siblings, the group goes on and on. So when you take and you add that in to the mix of, say, a twin flame, twin flames can also be and fall into the category of not being romantic. They can definitely be a mirrored reflection, and they come in the form of also a parent, a sibling, a friend, or, the list goes on. So it just depends on the contract. So not all twin flame connections are going to be intimate. Absolutely. So now it depends on the contract and the people you've contracted with to answer your question as to how that links to, can one person serve as two contracts for two people in one person? Well, absolutely, because here's the thing. You have the contract with yourself, and that is in your soul's lesson of the karmic vow you signed up to learn. So that vow you signed up to learn could be learned through multiple people, multiple reflections, multiple partners that come forth because they're all a reflection of you. And you're collecting a piece of the experience from all of them, that it's a layering process that you may not get the whole process in one. You can't eat an elephant all in one bite. So it's like layering it down. And through that process, that person you've contracted with may not be able to mirror for you a part and a piece of the whole part you're trying to gain from that. So there could be another person that's reflecting the same lesson from an opposite view, an opposite angle, something deeper, something higher. And it takes those people to show you that same part of yourself, really, so you can get the experience from both sides. So maybe you've abandoned someone and maybe you need to be abandoned. Maybe you need to set a boundary. Maybe you need to stay open. Maybe you need to listen. Maybe you need to speak your truth. So these, when you put all that together, usually it takes one person from the opposite side of that same concept, from two polarities, to point you in the direction of both sides to bring the neutrality of that one thing in yourself. And I don't know if that's exactly what you're asking in that part of it, but that is something I've seen. I had a revolving door to always have one person from each side of that. And if one left and once I got the lesson and I got the experience, I would shift myself in that. And then that would pull somebody in from the exact opposite, and somebody would take their place either in a new lesson as I was evolving through each lessons, or as I was elevating into higher versions of the lessons, which meant higher versions of myself, could be deeper within to view some of these things. So really, at the end of the day, to answer your question, can you have basically two people, two lessons, two kind of contracts with people, but one person technically helping you clear that? Absolutely, if that one person can help you see both angles, both sides of that, or any array in between. Because I'm talking about it from the contrast to the polarity, which is really easy to see, but this is not definitive between two opposing energies, we have the opposing and the contrast, and then we have a bandwidth of everything in between that. And so it's a process of going through this. So I hope that answers your question. I hope it gives you clarity. And again, thank you for sharing that question with us as a group here on my social media platform. And a reminder to everyone else, if you have a question you would like for me to answer, please send me a video to drharmony, Dr. Harmony at twinflameexpert.com, and I will answer your question for you as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and share the shine. I'll see you in the next video. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.